guys, I wanted to tell you about my day yesterday. In the past, I would have called that a bad day, but I'm working on calling it a growing day. I got some great advice from a good friend who said, don't call them bad days. They're growing days. They're days that remind us that we're not quite on track. We're not on the right channel. We're watching a show that's crummy, and we need to turn the channel to watch the lovely show of our life. So yesterday, for whatever reason, we were just out of sync. The kids were fighting like crazy. It's like they were just trolling the house looking for someone to fight with. And the more upset I got about them fighting, the more they fought, which made me more upset. And by the end of the day, I was just losing my mind. The kids wanted to go outside and play in the snow. You saw how much snow we had and how fun that is. They wanted to go outside and play in the snow. And if you live in the snow with little children, you know how much work it is to get them in that snow gear. Sometimes it takes more time to get them in the snow gear than they actually spend outside playing in it. And my 5-year-old was struggling to put anything on. It was like putting an octopus in a mesh bag. He acted like he'd never put on socks before. And I almost lost it. I yanked those socks on him and I shoved him out that door and said, "Go play in the snow!" Which, super fun. And I had a hard time yesterday. So I spent the evening thinking about how to reset, how to change that channel. And I have found a couple of things to be helpful. And I thought maybe they'd be helpful for you because we all have growing days. Some days that are just a little smoother than others. And maybe this is helpful to you. Who knows, maybe you're having a growing day today and you're looking to get out of it. The first thing I do is stop thinking about what I don't like that's happening and start thinking about what I'm grateful for. And when I spend just a minute thinking about what I'm grateful for, I start to feel like whatever I'm upset about gets smaller and smaller. I was frustrated with my kids for wanting to go play out in the snow and dragging snow through the house and not being able to put on socks like a normal human. But you know what? I have happy, healthy kids in a house to keep warm in, and towels to wipe up that snow, and a backyard to go play in. Suddenly, that seems really silly to be mad about. Once I'm at the grateful place, and I can just sit there for a while with the grateful, then I start thinking, if I could have it any way, if I could create this day to look any way I want, how would that look? Then I just start imagining that house full of love, the kids getting along. And I find when I change my channel, it helps everyone in the house change theirs. As moms, we really are the heart of the home. That saying, "Mom ain't happy, ain't nobody happy," it's a saying for a reason, because it's true. We set the tone in our home. And when we are full of love and gratitude, it allows other people to feel love and gratitude. I was reading a talk the other day given by Elder Groberg, and he said in it, "Our joy, now and forever, is inextricably linked to our capacity to love." In other words, the more we love, the happier we are. When we love unconditionally, we can feel joy unconditionally. This morning as I got up and I thought about what I wanted this day to be, I knew I didn't want fighting and chores and anger. And so I spent the morning playing games with my kids. We played a rousing game of Sleeping Queens and Crazy Eights, and we just had fun together. And I just worked on doing things that would make us all happy. My daughter hadn't done her chore yet. She has the job of sweeping the floor this morning. And I was crunching all over Cheerios and bits of who knows what on my floor. And I said, "Eloise, this needs to get done." And then I thought, you know what? I'm just going to serve her. I'm just going to love her. My good friend Dusty gave me that excellent suggestion that when you just serve without the condition that she be a very grateful little girl that her mom did her job for her, and they just did it and just loved doing it for her, it changed the whole tone. She was so happy. I was happy. And that just proves the point that when you love and serve, your happiness grows. And that's why we have this goal as a family to create happiness every day. I was realizing something in talking about creating joy and happiness and moments that matter together. I realized that in the past, I've always said, January's are the worst. January's the worst month. It's always such a bummer after Christmas and it's cold. And so all of my Januaries were exactly that. Because I decided that's what they would be. That's exactly how they turned up for me. And this, I realized as we've moved into February, January flew by and it was such a fantastic month. All because I decided it would be. I chose to create happiness every day in January. And it was a joy. It was nothing like Januaries of the past. I guess the moral of the story for me is a bad moment doesn't have to turn into a bad hour. And a bad hour doesn't have to turn into a bad day. And a bad day doesn't have to turn into a bad week. And a bad week doesn't mean a bad month. And a bad month doesn't mean a bad year. I think a lot of what we as women especially struggle with is feeling like we're not worth the happiness. We're not worth incredible experiences. We're struggling to love other people because we're struggling to love ourselves. We look at these days like growing days, days that remind us that we're not on the right channel, that we can get back on. It's a very interesting and little known secret that people show up exactly how we expect them to. So if we say to ourselves, I can't ever get it right. I'm always struggling. I'm just always unhappy. I'm just so frustrated all the time. Any fill in the blank, all the things that we might say to ourselves. We show up that way for ourselves. We've already decided it. And when I say, I'm getting it, I'm learning from this, I'm happy, I'm creating what I want out of my life, I am. I'm doing it right now. And you can too. I don't have the corner market on creating happiness. There's enough happiness and joy and love for you and everyone. And when we expect the best from people, they show up how we expect them to. This is why labels can be really dangerous for kids and groups of people when we say, those people are this way or that way. Chances are really good they're going to show up that way for you. But if you say, you know what? They're a masterpiece. And I love them exactly the way they are today. I don't need to fix them. I don't need to change them. I can just love them the way they are. They show up as that masterpiece. I've had some amazing experiences with this lately, and hopefully someday I'll get to tell you all about them. And so I'm giving you this pep talk just like I'm giving myself this pep talk, that we're going to go create some happiness today and tomorrow and the next day. And if we have growing moments and growing days in between, it's okay. I hear my little people upstairs making a noise I can't identify. So I better go and see what those people are up to. I'm going to go and create some happiness now, and I hope you're going to go and do the same. Go be awesome.